is the most shorthanded rundown I've ever seen, well, then I'm going to try to figure out some way to orient myself.
And that's
we'll
why
talk about it after the show.
You can look at your notes.
But we both have to have a one solid rundown, that we both think is organized. It's starting off hot on a Monday morning.
I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want. This is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal. I'm a hot girl.
You said, why are you chat GPTing my rundown? And I said, because your rundown doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't have said a word. I would have just let it go, but you had to poke me.
Go ahead, give us the intro.
Welcome to Let Her Shoot, the only podcast that covers women's sports the way that we want them covered. Well, sometimes it's the way that Sarah wants them covered, sometimes it's the way that I want them covered. We don't actually know the way that we both want them covered today. Definitely no kid gloves this morning. I am on a tight deadline, and I'm starting to feel the hormones
busy for us.
Yeah,
we know.
No, the full moon. I'm not sleeping well. I'm traveling for your event tomorrow, Athlos, which we'll be on the ground for. I'm a little stressed. All of the reasons to stay locked in, most of it is our engaging banter, our immense chemistry, and the good vibes that we bring to the podcast every single episode. If you are liking our
very
stuff,
tongue-in-cheek.
If you're cringe watching our podcast, if you're saying, wow, what is really going on with them, subscribe on YouTube, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts, and follow us on TikTok and Instagram at The Daily W Sports. A lot of big names are following us in the Dub Club. You could be one of them. You could be featured on the show. Sarah, what the hell's on tap for today?
Well, it's been a busy week. I think I said this in the group earlier, but this week has been a month because I cannot believe all that has happened since the time of our last recording. We're going to talk about all of it. Cathy Engelbert is probably heading for the unemployment office. And
that's the WNBA commissioner.
Yes, if you're new here or were living under a rock last week, she had probably one of the worst PR relations weeks in recent commissioner history.
I've never seen anything like it in all of sports.
No. So we're going to dig into that, what Napheesa Collier did to kind of start this whole
you mean the match?
Kind of revolution in the
match
WNBA.
that lit the dumpster fire that is the CBA
it was the
negotiations?
shot heard round the world, right? It was the Franz Ferdinand moment.
You mean in the middle of the eve of the WNBA Finals, she just decided to create a second storyline? Just decided it's going to be a flame. It's literally just underpinning everything that goes on with basketball. Good job, Fee.
Yeah. And then there was also some basketball being played because the finals are going on. We're 2 games in. The Aces are up 2-0 already.
My GOAT, A'ja Wilson.
And that was, good games, but definitely not the highest drama of the week. Plus in
Game
the NWSL.
Game 1 was a lot of drama, though. We'll talk about it.
There was a lot of drama, yes. Plus in the NWSL, there was another big trade that crushed the hearts of many fans, including that of your city, mostly that of your city, Portland. So we're going to talk a little bit about that trade.
That they say is also under siege and is up in flames. What is more up in flames, Portland or the WNBA right now? I'm going to go ahead and say the WNBA because there's actually nothing happening in Portland except for trading Hina.
Welcome, by the way, to what it's like to live in military occupation. Welcome.
Look at us. The only podcast where both hosts are living under the National Guard. I can promise you there are no other podcasts where one podcaster's on one side of the country, the other one's on the other side of the country, but both are apparently so lawless that we need the National Guard here.
Yeah, I saw them the other day picking up trash. So.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
I saw them the other day putting tear gas in an empty street just to say they're doing something.
Just to say they're
It's
to say they're in there fighting.
It's like
Fighting
the military. It's like the military version of like the cops with donuts, just sitting and waiting for something to happen.
Just like
instead of
toss
donuts,
a tear gas down an alley.
it's a tear gas. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, I threw out like 4 today. Don't come back with the same amount. But first, you owe me an apology.
About what?
Well, a lot of things. But
the way I treat you, the way
all of it.
the way I speak to you, the
All
way
of
that
it,
I text you, the
Correct.
way that I talk about you behind. Yeah,
all of that. But mostly Juju, Watkins, and Jaden Daniels. You've been telling me forever, they're not together. But we saw what looked like a very together handshake after Jaden Daniels' win yesterday. Juju was in the family box, and they did a really
Juju Watkins, guard for the USC Trojans, the second princess to come.
The second princess.
Well, I think she's like another one of the princesses to come up through the ranks.
Like AZ.
Yeah, like AZ.
Like Princess AZ.
The princess that was promised. Yep.
The princess that was promised. Well, which one is which? If one is the
AZ's
people's,
the people's princess.
Okay. Then
Juju
is
the princess
who
that's
was
promised.
Okay.
Yes. Exactly.
What makes her the princess that was promised?
She was, I think she had almost just as much, maybe more hype than AZ or Paige did coming out of high school. She was just talked about since she was in like 7th or 8th grade. And the ratings and the excitement around women's basketball because of the Caitlin Clark phenomenon in college, because of some of the things that were going on with Paige with injuries and AZ with injuries. We were talking about Juju like pre-pandemic almost, I feel like. When she was like 13, 14 years old.
She's been around a long time for someone who's only
she's
a junior.
from Southern California. She's going to USC. And now she's dating an NFL player, allegedly. They have a secret handshake. That's all we know. We haven't seen them. It's kind of like Paige. It's kind of like Paige and AZ, where it's like they're together. They just haven't like told us officially
they just don't want to say.
they're
People
together.
say they give Bam and Asia like it's
They
very
do.
like it that like she was in the family box yesterday and he won and he came over, he hugged his mom, and then he did this like cute little handshake with her. It was very cute. I liked their whole thing.
So
but
yes,
I just
they're
wanted
together.
to say that I
Jaden's
was right.
I was wrong. They are together. I thought maybe Jaden Daniels' mom, which is getting very close to M Sport territory, Sarah. I thought Jaden Daniels' mom was putting her claws into her son and saying, you stay away from those girls. Those girls are going to distract you. And then he wins Rookie of the Year, and he's winning games in the last 30 seconds of the game. And Commanders go to the NFC Championship game, a few key plays away from going to the Super Bowl. Too much M Sports. But I thought that was what was going to keep them apart. But no, true love withstands even an overbearing, controlling Tiger mom. This is going to be a great show. I can tell. You have an amazing energy. I have great, exciting, spicy energy. It's going to be good.
Your own energy?
Yeah. That's what good stars do. They find ways to make things about themselves.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of moms, overbearing moms, the Aces did the "Who would you not let your daughter date" on this.
Oh, what a great transition!
Right? That was good, right?
It's so good.
That was because of my rundown.
Set me up some more.
Okay. So Jackie Young, the Aces do the "Who do you not let your daughter date," right? And all of them almost immediately said Jackie Young. The internet lore about Jackie Young continues because it's like the Aces just keep planting these like little seeds with their TikTok videos about like who Jackie Young is. And
is she a fuckboy? Is Jackie Young kind of a fuckboy?
We don't know.
Is Jackie Young going to impregnate Cardi B?
Well, she said at the end of it, she was like, I don't know why they're worrying about it anymore. Like, I'm booed up.
They're literally treating her like the Minnesota Vikings treated Stephon Diggs, where they're like,
with his
Diggs
28 babies.
Dog. Diggs is a dog. No, I don't even think he has that many babies, but he's just literally running through folks. That's why I asked, is Jackie Young going to end up impregnating Cardi B? Is that what we're going to end up finding out? Is that Cardi B is at Aces games with a second child and her baby from Jackie Young? Because that's kind of how it sounds right now. The dual, both her and Asia have it, but the dual nose ring is how you know she's a demon.
That's how you know she's not here to fuck around.
She's here to take your girl. Doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. She's here to take her from you.
Yeah, whether she likes them or not, because we still don't even know if Jackie Young likes girls. So
I actually clearly don't know. I feel I do know, but I do not know.
I do think, though, that, like, who would you not let your daughter date? And the answer is Jackie Young. Probably leads one to believe that Jackie Young is
for all of everybody.
A little bit of a fuckboy. There's a little bit of a fuckboy. But she also said that she's got someone now. So.
She's in a stable, lifelong, happy. We don't know if it's monogamous. No, she just said she's saying boot up. She just said, you don't know what type of situation she's in. Yep, that's great. Jackie Young, though, did ball out.
We did. So, yeah, I was going to say, we do know that she's up 2-0 in a 7-game series. Her and the rest of the Aces are up on the Phoenix Mercury, and game 1 looked like this series was going to be tight, right? Like, it looked like it was a battle right till the end. And then the second game, the Phoenix was falling off a bit. Now, there could be a lot of reasons for that. Could be fatigue. Could be...
Are you going to ask me which ones that I think they
no,
are?
I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there.
Okay. This preamble is really stressing me out.
It could be Alyssa Thomas's shoulders that we aren't allowed to talk about. But what would you say is your biggest takeaway from... Well, do you want to talk about game 1 or game 2, or do you want to talk about them together?
Let's talk about them together.
Okay. What's your biggest takeaway right now from this series?
To me, it was the fact that the Mercury had game 1. They really should have won it. They kind of played with their food. The Aces essentially found a way to get 20-something points off the bench from Dana Evans, the ghost, as you would say. As we would say, the ghost. I don't even know why it's the ghost of Dana Evans, but it is. The ghost of Dana Evans comes back and ends up becoming like prime Klay Thompson and just a sharpshooter, could not miss. That you knew if you were the Phoenix Mercury would never happen again. You're not getting big points from Jewel Lloyd, who also had 21. You're not getting 42 points from these role players. So if you're Phoenix, that should be something positive to take away into game 2. But I think the thing that's the most alarming is the hand injury that we saw in game 1 from Alyssa Thomas. She was squeezing it. She had an MRI on it after game 1. Apparently everything was fine. You know how they say, it's fine. Everybody's good. She's 100% healthy. But what I do know is that when there was an open lane many times through game 2, and Alyssa Thomas had the ball, she turned into Philadelphia 76ers Ben Simmons. Just passing
I even get that reference.
Good job. She passed up layup after layup. She's making the extra pass for no reason when they're literally wide open. She's passing
she's kicking
up
it
jump
out
shots
to DB or somebody, and it's like,
and
what's
DB,
going on here?
Terrible. Can't play in this series. DB looking just dusty as hell out there. And listen, I know DB was great in the last series, but they've got to take a look. So I think it's really, if you're not going to get more than 9 shot attempts from Alyssa Thomas, which is what I think she had in game 2, you're going to lose this series by a lot. And I felt like the Aces played really fucking fast. Their defense got them into transition. And to me, this is a team that the only way you're going to beat the Aces is if they're forced into running their half-court offense, which is very stale, and which Phoenix can defend quite well. If they're able to get into the flow of their offense, which, by the way, Chelsea Gray was handling masterfully. If Chelsea Gray can do these no-look passes down into the lane.
Yeah, did you see that one?
Oh, my goodness. Chelsea Gray's unreal. But if she's able to kick ahead and you're still getting into your transition defense and you're not back, it's going to be a long day for you. And that's what it was. Down by 20-something points at one point. To me, it feels very alarming where Phoenix how they came out in game 2. They're going to need to lick their wounds for game 3 going back to Phoenix. And Alyssa Thomas is going to need some Toradol shots in that hand. And she's going to need to take like 15, 17 shots per game.
I'm pulling up the stats because the two real standout stars for me on the Phoenix Mercury, right? Like, because I was watching this. I said the other night, I said, they can't let Chelsea Gray get hot, right? Like, that's kind of the death to the Mercury, is when Chelsea Gray goes on a heater. Because if you have Asia, you have to account for Asia having a 30-point night. Like, you just have you have to just assume that Asia's going to have a 30-point night. So how do you accommodate for that? Well, on top of that, you cannot let Chelsea Gray also have a 30-point night.
Well, you also
cannot let Jackie Young also have a 30-point night.
Well, you know that Jackie Young's going to, right? Like, Jackie Young is probably, if the Asia Hive wasn't as buzzy, Jackie Young would and could still win Finals MVP. I think she has been really the most spectacular player of all of the WNBA playoffs, like game to game to game. But Chelsea Gray, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, 3 blocks in game 2. So she didn't go off, and she only had 8 points in game 1. But what she's doing, 10 assists in both of those games.
Yeah.
She's shown the world, listen, put some respect on my motherfucking name. I'm the point god. Okay? I can get and orchestrate the offense to the degree that we're going to get easy shots for Asia. We're going to, like, the Chelsea Gray Asia duo in game 2 was like, holy shit, dude. They look like Shaq and Kobe right now. They're like flowing effortlessly. And when Asia's getting into the paint and getting these easy layups, now that's demoralizing. So you're going to get 25, 30 points from Jackie Young. And Jackie Young, shout out to her. Most amount of points in a quarter in WNBA Finals history, breaking our friend of the pod, Angel McCutcheon's record of 23 points. Was it? I don't remember exactly. Send me the note.
Wild.
It was just outrageous. It was outrageous. I don't know if that's what it was, but Jackie Young was so in the zone, so electric, scoring with ease at every level. She had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. But I thought what was so incredible was she shot 60% from the field and 43% from 3. So shout out to Jackie Young. She gets the flowers so far for me in this series, because even though she only had 10 points in game 1 and Asia was like, where were you? I knew that the production was coming.
She was also perfect from the line, too, in that last game.
She's perfect in my heart. I would let my daughter date Jackie Young.
Until you find out that Jackie Young...
I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking that she could be doing. It's
not our business.
Going to do it.
It's not our business.
My business.
You know what? She is a young athlete who, this is, have at it.
Before we wrap up this, what in like 5 words or less, how does this series turn out for you?
Well, I was going to ask you one more question. Can I ask you one more question before we do that?
Yes, you can. Sorry, look at me taking control of the wheel. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I know. This is what happens when you do your own rundown.
Shut up.
What does the Phoenix Mercury need
they
get? What?
Grammatic error. Go ahead.
What do they?
Yep, that's the one.
What did I say?
What does they?
I don't think I did.
Yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
I really?
Yeah.
Okay. What do the Phoenix Mercury need? And who do they need it from? Going back home to even this series up, or at least get it to a more controllable manner?
What they need is what they had in game 1. Exactly. Only now you have the crowd behind you. You need Satu hitting threes. You need Alyssa Thomas bullying in the lane. And you need Collier Copper going to the lane effortlessly and hitting threes. If those 3 can do what they did in game 1 with the crowd noise, That's going to make it very difficult for the Aces to now get into their offense because it's really hard to have transition offense getting out excitingly in a fast-paced manner when you're taking the ball out of the net. So Phoenix just needs to make shots, and they'll be fine. They will be fine. You can actually bet Phoenix at like almost 3-1 to win the series now outright, even though the Aces did exactly what they're supposed to do, which is win both games at home. Series doesn't start until until the home team loses. So let's see how this thing shakes out. I want to see a long series. Phoenix, they really just need to make sure Alyssa Thomas is aggressive on both ends of the floor and that Satu doesn't get all up in her feels, because Satu's been getting into foul trouble. And when Satu feels like the refs are cheating her, she gets technical foul. She like
gets
throwing
a
the
little
ball.
pissy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's throwing the ball up in the air. She's just bullshit. You're on the bench now for longer than you're supposed to be. Play clean basketball, hit shots, and don't play too far outside yourself. And they also need to probably bench DeWanna Bonner some more. Unfortunately, this is not a great matchup for her. She's defensively playing like the orange, the orange color of the Mercury. That's what she is, but she's a cone. The orange cone.
Like a traffic cone?
Yeah, she's a traffic cone. Just get right around her. She's a cone.
Okay.
You never heard that? Cone on defense? Cone.
I don't think I have.
She's like a training cone. You just go around them. They don't move.
Okay. You asked me a question.
Yeah. What is this for you? In 5 words or less, how does this series end?
Mercury in 6.
Wow! So they win 4 games in a row? That's what they'd have to do.
Is that right?
That's how 2 plus 4 works.
So I know. I think. Well.
See, here we go.
All right. So Mercury in 7.
Mercury in 7. That's what it's got to be. Mercs in 7.
I think the Mercury get the next 2, and then I think they get 1 back.
They have to get game 7.
Well,
it's basically,
yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Correct.
Math.
Not my strong suit.
This 7-game series. This new.
What about you? What about you?
True. I think it's Aces in 5.
You think Aces in 5?
I don't know, man. If Alyssa Thomas is really that hurt, then this thing could get out of hand. And every time I count the Aces out, they keep proving me wrong. So we'll see.
Same.
I hope it is Aces in 5 because I've got a lot of money on the line for Asia Wilson to win Finals MVP.
I'd like to go to a game, so I'd like to get it to 6.
So would I.
You know who probably will not be
attending any of the games?
Attending any? Well, she's got to be there. I assume.
Does she? I wouldn't think so. Let's set it up.
Right?
Let's set it up.
All right. Cathy Engelbert, WNBA commissioner. WNBA commissioner. Cathy Engelbert has found herself in I don't want to say hot water.
Oh, what?
This water is boiling. Like it is.
It's steam. It's so hot. It's evaporated.
It's just steam. It's actually she's just sitting in a steam cooker. Steam.
She's in the Instapot. She's in the sauna.
Yeah, she's in the Insta.
She's in the steam room.
Cooker. She's in a steam room. She has had arguably one of the worst PR disaster weeks since like the Chevron crisis. You know?
Since
Chevron.
the Chevron crisis?
Like the Chevron, remember the Chevron thing?
You think she's like Chernobyl? She's as nuclear as Chernobyl?
Well, think about it this way. And we'll go back and we'll set this whole thing up. But think about it this way. If Cathy Engelbert becomes the single-handed reason why there is no league next year, I mean, is that not a big crisis?
It's a massive crisis for sports, just not for humanity or our environment. But I get the exaggeration.
You know what I mean?
I get
like
the hyperbolic nature of this. In the sports world, this is Chernobyl.
In the sports world. I didn't say Chernobyl. I said Chevron.
In the sports world, this is nuclear button stuff.
This is nuclear button stuff. So it started last week when about 4 hours after our episode dropped.
Which sucked.
which sucked. Fee sat down for her exit interview, and she said, "Let me tell you all the shit Cathy has said."
She prepared a statement, 3.5 minutes.
She did. And she sat there and she said that she had some damning things to say about Cathy. She said that Cathy said that Caitlyn should be thanking her for the W and for making $16 million off the court, because without the W, she would make nothing, which is...
As a response to, hey, these rookies are making $70K. Less than an investment banking associate makes in their first 4 years every year. How do you plan to fix that? And she's like, I don't.
They should actually be thankful that they get endorsements, because I brought them those endorsements, which is kind of wild.
She said it's the platform that she is building is the reason that they can do that.
Personally is providing for them.
She's getting those deals done. That's what she would say. I'm the deal. I'm the deal maker.
Then she said that the players should be on their hands and knees thanking her.
Just the knees, no hands.
Well, I feel like that's implied, right? Hands.
No, there's plenty. There's plenty of people who are just on their knees and not on their hands. Just ask Jackie Young.
Anyway, so she said the players should be on their knees thanking
Allegedly.
for the deals that she has gotten, the rights deals that she's gotten done. And everyone was like, oh, shit.
Fee also said, we have the best players in the world.
And the worst leadership.
The best fans in the world, and the worst leadership in the world. And that's saying a lot, considering that me and Sarah both have the National Guard strolling around our neighborhoods.
The worst leadership in the world.
In the world! We got Vladimir Putin. Napheesa Collier, I would like to ask, are you keeping this specific to sports, or are you really saying that Cathy Engelbert is worse than Vladimir Putin, is worse than Ahmed Ahmadinejad, is worse than Kim Jong-un?
Look at you.
Is worse than, I prepared, Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il or DJT or Richard Nixon. Are you saying that? Well, we can't really do Richard Nixon or Ahmadinejad because I think they're both dead.
Dead? Yeah.
But you get what I'm doing.
I get the point. Regardless, Fee did not mince her words. She said, Cathy sucks. We need her gone. I mean, I'm paraphrasing.
I have receipts. She told me all this crazy ass shit about the players. She basically doesn't value us. And then what happened?
And then Cathy gets up there on Friday.
She has to have an emergency press conference.
No, well, see, technically, it actually wasn't an emergency press conference. It was the, traditional commissioner's press conference that she gives before the finals start. However, the topics I don't think were supposed to be any of what they were. I think it was supposed to be a State of the Union type thing. Yeah. Another great season. These were our numbers. This was this was that. And instead it turns into, a fielding questions from reporters PR crisis. But Cathy then sits up there and just gaslights the fuck out of everyone and says, I never said that.
No, she didn't. Nope, she did not say that.
Well, she said, no, you're right. She said,
if it was
there's a lot of inaccuracies.
If it was a direct denial, I would actually respect that a little more. Instead, there's been, in her statement, there's been a mischaracterization about the events that took place between me and Fee. And then she said, there's a lot of inaccuracies out there with the reporting.
Yeah, she said that to Malika Andrews, who asked her, do you care to comment on, what Fee said that you said about Caitlyn and the rights deals? And she just kind of sidestepped around it and then throws into this answer. It was like
she was a Teddy Ruxpin doll that only had that answer. And it's there is no reporting. We heard it on wax. We've posted the quote. What would you like to say about what Napheesa said that you said? A one-to-one conversations with the reporting. There's
inaccuracies in the reporting. Fake news. She fake newsed us.
She said that's an AI video of Napheesa
AI.
Collier.
I didn't say that. I didn't.
That's deep fake. She got deep fake.
And then she proceeds to say, my favorite part of this entire bite was, I have children.
I have a family.
I have a family who, by the way, her children are like grown-ass adults. They're like in their 20s.
They're at work and somebody's Slack messaging them like, yo, you good?
Like, you good? Your mom about to get fired. And they're
Listen,
like, I don't know.
and the fact is crazy. It's crazy that Cathy is willing to say I have children because because it's not like
So
she's
does
getting
he.
death threats. It's people being like, you need to be fired. It's not like
People not even saying you need to be fired. It's you need to be better at your job. And she's
Also-
like, I have children.
Also, that's just an insane take when your kids are grown because they're not in danger and nobody's really trolling them. And honestly, it's not the same as when professional athletes or real celebrities are feeling like they have to shield their kids from the turmoil. I have a family. I have turmoil. I have feelings. I'm a human. And somebody rightly put this on our Instagram. It's hilarious that she would point out that she's a mother, considering how the WNBA treats pregnant women in the WNBA, where they have to hide their pregnancies or they're at risk from being cut, like De'Arica Hamby allegedly was cut from the Las Vegas Aces, the team that's simply in the finals right now.
Mic drop on that.
Rough one. It's a tough one.
Woof. People were also not so happy early in the week with Caitlin Clark because Caitlin kind of no commented her way around this, right?
She didn't, though.
She didn't. And then she eventually sat down and said, like, I stand with Fee.
She waited till the exit interview, which is what Fee did, and then said, this is the most important time in our CBA, in the league. In the whole 20-something years that we've been around, this is the most important part, and I stand with Fee. Caitlin doesn't really want to ether anyone right now. She's kind of saying, listen, I'm going to let the WNBA PA VP handle this. I'm going to just say I agree with what she has to say. I think that the leadership needs to be better from top to bottom, which I don't know what that means. When she says top to bottom, that means there's more than just Cathy that's going wrong. But I felt like people spoke too soon about, like, where's Caitlin? Where's Caitlin? How come Caitlin not saying anything? She doesn't tweet. Literally, all of her Twitter is just brand deals that she's posting and then stuff about the bench mob. Everybody's like, why can't she can tweet about the bench mob, but she can't tweet support a Fee? That's just not what she does.
Can I go on a little bit of a...
Just remember, Robert72777 with the egg avatar, he's waiting for what you're going to say about Caitlin in the comment section. Just remember, you're on thin ice.
I think we need to leave Caitlin alone a little bit. Like, she's 23 years old. She has not signed up to be a player rep or gotten elected to be the WNBA PA board member.
You're saying words now.
Well, what I'm saying is she is just a player on the court, right? Like, she is every amount of Caitlin is the beacon was put on her by other people, not by Caitlin herself. And so I think this whole, like, Caitlin doesn't take Fee's side is like...
Well, she did.
She did, number one. But I'm saying in the days leading up to that, it's like, it's also not Caitlin's job to be out there advocating against Cathy Engelbert. Do you know what I mean? That's what Fee does. Fee is on the PA. That's her job. That's what she's been elected to do.
People will say, Sarah, Angel Reese tweeted, Courtney Williams tweeted, a host of other players that were mentioned directly. Caitlin was mentioned directly by Fee.
Okay.
As was Angel, she responded. As was Paige, she responded.
Okay. My point is that I just think that this notion of, like, everything that happens in the W needs to be commented on by Caitlin, and if she doesn't comment on it, that means that she hates people or she's taking a side, or, you know, I think it's now, yes, I would like to see her be a little more vocal as a leader, but I also think that she's 23. And
you know who also commented? Sophie Cunningham.
Sophie Cunningham did comment. She said,
she's like, have you seen that Barack Obama Key and Peele speech where Barack Obama has like the translator, and like he says something very politically correct, and then he's got a translator to be like, and he said, "Fuck that shit, hell no, fuck you, bitch." And it's basically like that's what Sophie Cunningham kind of does for Caitlyn.
Yeah, it literally is.
Sophie Cunningham's like, without Caitlyn, you wouldn't even Caitlyn was making like this amount of money at
directly
Iowa.
To Cathy. She's like, "Fuck you," and you're like, whoa.
What did Sophie say? Hold on. It was hilarious. I think it's pretty shameful that she always makes it about her, Cathy, when it should have nothing to do with her. And then she also said, we have really good, I'm just tired of our league. They need to step up and be better. Our leadership from the top to bottom needs to be held accountable. There's a lot of people in positions of power in the WNBA who know, and they really might be great business people, but they don't know shit about basketball. And she also was like, keep Caitlyn's name out of your motherfucking mouth.
Well, you know that Cathy came from Deloitte.
Yep, accounting firm.
Yeah. I don't know, people have a lot of feelings about Deloitte. I don't know enough about Deloitte, or not Deloitte, but I just know people have feelings about Deloitte.
Ayo, thanks to our day one sponsor, Fuchs Financial. Remember, retirement planning shouldn't be overcomplicated. You should feel like the advice that you're getting is from somebody that's for your life, not someone else's agenda. Straight talk, solid strategy. That's what you get from our guy Ben at Fuchs Financial. Shout out to Ben. You can check out Ben's show. He's also a content guy, by the way. How to retire on YouTube, because, you know, it would be nice to retire at some point, right? Someday. All right, follow Ben. Shout out to Fuchs Financial.
So Cathy does the presser, and then we get a report that, because in this presser, Cathy says, I've reached out to Napheesa. We're going to meet next week and discuss like how we can move forward. Then we get a breaking news notification. Napheesa Collier has canceled meeting with Cathy Engelbert.
She just like goes to her calendar
She was
and
like,
just pushes
no.
decline.
Decline.
Just
She
goes to
got
her
the Google invite and said nope.
It just no. It's like Napheesa Collier has canceled it. She's watching it live and just declines the calendar invite immediately. Apparently,
She
according
said
to
no.
the reporting is that the relationship is now broken beyond repair as
Beyond
a result
repair.
of what Cathy Engelbert said.
Of her
which
comments.
basically Napheesa Collier's like, you're not about to sit up and call me a liar.
Yeah,
On
that's
national
exactly what it
TV.
is, which tells me that Fee's not lying.
Yeah, if Napheesa was lying or exaggerating or making some sort of hyperbole or taking it out of context to what Cathy Engelbert said, she would just continue to allow there to be a he said, she said. She said, oh no, I'm not meeting with that hoe. No.
She literally
not doing
did.
that.
She said absolutely not. I mean, we are now, at the time of this recording, we are 25 days away from the CBA expiring.
I'm
25
locked
days
up,
is
they
not-
won't let me out, no. Your millennial cringe moment of the episode right there.
You know, you kind of have an Akon-y vibe to you.
I have an Akon vibe? Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go. I don't know what it means, but I
It's
like
that
that.
nasally kind of like, you know.
Did you see? We're gonna have to clip that. Did you see I was smiling? It just
It just went down.
eroded from my face. That was
anyway.
mean. That was so mean.
Where
I
are
was
we
in the
at?
choir.
Where does this put
We're gonna.
us?
Akon says, and I say, there's going to be a lockout. I don't think you can have a conversation or negotiation with somebody that the whole league wholeheartedly fucking cannot stand and does not want to negotiate with. We are not talking to her. Fee just canceled her meeting. You think she wants to talk about business? No.
Not when she calls her a liar on television.
Come on.
She's not gonna do that. And on top of that, like this is not a matter of like, hey, because it's already been contentious with these negotiations. The players are already saying they're not giving us the revenue share we want. We don't feel respected in these meetings. They're not coming to the table, even like remotely meeting what we need. And then on top of that, they're like, and you're liars. So this just like, all right, we're done. NECA.
I don't
They're
know
just
how
going to be done.
I don't know how this is going to go because
Well, I can tell you it's not going to get done until Cathy's gone.
the commissioner is in place as a result of being appointed by the NBA and is co-signed by the owners. Public opinion and public pressure does not move them. And so you've got a little bit of a push and pull going on where the NBA and the owners can just strong arm and keep Cathy in place if they want. Now,
but what would the point of that be?
My next qualifying fee is to Adam Silver's secretary and say, do you want to get a deal done or not? Because if you want to get a deal done, we can't have her in office. I don't know who the even person up next in the line of succession is. I don't care if we need to make Mark Tatum the who's up next for Adam Silver. I don't care if Mark Tatum needs to come in and be the commissioner of the WNBA temporarily to get this negotiation done. But we need this to happen now. And she can't be the one that we have a conversation with because we've lost all faith, all trust in her, and we have two new franchises who are ramping up to have a season, their inaugural season, and we don't even know if there's going to be a season. And I promise you, the Golden State owner, the Toronto owner, the Portland owner, and the owners to come are not going to like investing all of this money into getting an expansion team and then getting absolutely zero as a result of it indefinitely. So that's what I think has to happen. But honestly, it's such a shit show and so unprecedented. I have no clue what's gonna happen the way they run this Minnie Mouse league.
That's what's crazy. We said we were trying to figure out when to record this podcast because we were like, well, we're going to record it and then Cathy's something else is going to happen right before, because this news cycle has been turning so fast. I mean, we are putting out something about Elena Deladon, and Adrian said, this is weeks ago. And I said, it was 5 days ago. And she said, what? Because 5 days ago, Elena Deladon reposts one of our things and says, Cathy still doesn't even know that I've retired.
Or doesn't give a fuck.
Or doesn't give a fuck, hasn't reached out.
Just one of the greatest players in WNBA history doesn't even get a call from the commissioner to say, hey, you were awesome for our league.
Congrats on the career.
Congratulations on an amazing career. How can we still integrate you and keep you involved in the league? How can we support you? What do you need?
Just, Cathy, get your golf clubs ready. Get your golf clubs ready, because that's where you're going to be.
It's going to be one hell of an Unrivaled. I tell you what. This next season of Unrivaled is going to be get your popcorn, because there's going to be so many free agents out there. There's going to be a CBA that's still not completed, and you've got college basketball ramping up, and AZ and all of the players that are going to be drafted like Flaugier balling out, and we don't know where they're going to go come April or May, or if there is anywhere for them to go.
By the way, also at the time of this recording, Angel Reese has not committed to Unrivaled yet.
Oof.
But there was like some interesting wording that was put out that was like some athletes were still working on the contract, so I feel like that was kind of that.
And he just said, listen, I clearly am a revenue driver.
I clearly need to get paid.
Whatever you were paying me last season,
Double.
250,000, 300,000, or whatever it was, it's going to need to be more than that. You guys are worth more. I'm a part of that. You know what time it is. I drive the needle. Even if it's hate watching, you're just going to have to give me a little bit bigger of a slice. And I think she deserves it. So congratulations to Angel Reese being a savvy, shrewd businesswoman.
Good businesswoman. Did you see she made
Hold on.
Did you see that she made six figures though on
Off the me bounce? I was about to just say, when I posted something about artist, I posted, if you could follow an artist, a musical artist, throughout their career, from the time they started till the end of their career, who would it be? And someone said, I bet you Trista says Angel Reese. And I thought that was such a fun, that's how much we ride for Angel Reese, is that trolls in our comments about not the WNBA saying, we stan her so much that we'll follow her career and call her a musical Picasso artist as well.
You know, who's to say that she's not?
Who's to say she's not?
Who's to say she's not?
Let's move on to soccer.
Yeah, you know where people are not going right now? They're not going to Providence Park to watch Portland win or Portland play because they're not so happy with them right now. They traded away Hina Sugita, who was probably one of the most, next to Christine Sinclair and like Tobin Heath, probably one of like the most beloved Portland players.
You don't think Sophia Smith is a beloved player?
No, I think Sophia Smith is a beloved player, but it has to do with, it's not just about how a player is taken in by the community, but how a player takes in the community themselves. Right?
Bars.
Yeah, right. And I think Hina represented a very large portion of the Portland community. Or not portion, I should say, but like a very large, a piece of the Portland community in the Japanese American community. And that Hina Hive, as they called her, was such an invaluable piece of Portland's fan base. And she's been there for 4 years, I want to say. I think 4 years. And I don't think anyone expected them to ever get rid of her. And so, because Portland is kind of known for keeping they're kind of known for embracing their players, bringing them in and keeping them there as long as they can. They've done it with Sam Coffey. They did it with Christine Sinclair. They did it with Tobin Heath for a long time until she wanted to go to Europe. And so I think people just assumed that Hina would be that same type of player that's like, you're a Portland. You are an honorary, what do you call them?
Portlander? Oregonian? Portlander.
Portlander.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
I feel like there's shade underneath that interesting.
Well, it doesn't really flow.
The ring is not quite there. That's why we don't really say it that often.
Yeah, like a Portlandiite. It's kind of what I was thinking.
No. That's
No.
even worse, honestly. Anyway, I think the thing that it reminds me of, because I'm thinking about this from the outside and not from the internal cultural standpoint, is the front office, like you said in our group chats, is basically explaining this away by saying that they need to pay Sophia Smith, right? The star.
That's exactly what it was.
The star on the team that's like one of the most expensive players in all the NWSL. Do you remember when we spoke to an NWSL player who shall not be named about how certain teams will have such a large disparity where they pay one or two players and then they pay everyone else trash? And Portland is one of those teams. And it feels like the haves and the have-nots in Portland are getting more and more wide. And to me, when you've got a player on maternity leave, and I think that's great that she had a baby, that she's happy, you do not get rid of a fan favorite to pay her when she's not even playing this year. It adds insult to injury. It's like, well, I'm not even thinking about Sophia Smith. We don't even know where she is right now. She's probably got a binky and a pacifier and her stroller walking down Southwest Waterfront, avoiding the voodoo donuts and the pink tear gas being thrown by the National Guard.
Well, she lives in Arizona.
But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I'm saying,
like, where she's not is here making a like you talk about people in the community. That's a good point. She's not even in our community. She doesn't even want to be here.
Well, I mean, I think her husband probably
there,
gets paid significantly more money to live in Arizona than she gets paid to live in Portland.
Guess where? Where is Hina? Though?
NFL money.
Where is Hina?
What do you
here? Hina is here. She's She's 10 toes down. She's probably spending her off seasons here. And so
she probably is.
Sophia Smith should just find a way to get closer, maybe go to LAFC or something that's a drive away from Arizona and not be taking up the cap space we have.
Cap space.
To get a fan favorite out. What do you think?
I mean, I think they got $600,000 for her, which is a good chunk of change, right? Like, we saw.
I hate that. I hate the cash for player thing. I hate that.
I know. It feels cheap. Well, it's also.
It does.
They also got, and I never know if it's, because I've never actually heard if it's MA or MA. So I'm just going to say they got a defender, Vignola, from ACFC that they did need, and that's fair. They also got $600,000, which is a lot of money.
That probably came out of the pool to get rid of Alyssa Thompson. Literally, we get one player going overseas.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
like that's the thing is that, remember, they were just saying, oh, well, this $1 million has to go. It doesn't go towards player salaries. When LA got $1 million for Alyssa, they said, oh, it's got to go towards bringing in other players. So they just spent $600,000 and went and got Hina. So now they've got $400,000 left. So now what do they do with that? And this $600,000, what does it do? Is that towards bringing in multiple players, or is that just going into Sophia Smith's bank account at the end of the season to keep her from going? And here's the thing:
it literally got wired directly from. It literally got wired directly from LAFC directly. It's like a Zelle request to Sophia Smith.
The thing is like, I understand that, like, protecting them from these big transfer fees. Sophia Smith is not going to Europe, right? Like, she has an infant baby and a husband who plays in the NFL. Like, she's not.
Yeah, you can squeeze her a little bit, okay? You can squeeze her.
Right. Like, bring that money over here to Washington, where we need to pay Trinity to stay, because that's the one I'm really worried about is...
Yeah, because her boyfriend plays in Europe most of the time.
Correct.
On hard
she has no reason to stay here.
Yeah.
Except for her family and all that nonsense. But anyway.
I also wonder, really quick before we move on to our close, do you think this means anything about what Portland's mindset is for the playoffs?
Yeah. That's the thing, is that to do this with a month left, right? It feels weird timing. Like, are you, and I'm really torn between, they went and got a piece that they think they need to really make a playoff run. And if that's a defender, if they really believe that
but is that, though?
I don't know.
I think we need another scorer.
I mean, they've had difficulty in the last year. Olivia Moultrie has been on a heater. Like, she's had 5 goals in the last handful of games. So she's been playing really well. But she can be a little streaky. And you are missing out on that firepower that Sophia Smith brings to the front this season. And so it does feel weird to go and get it. Unless you're looking
what are you
at
punting?
the table.
Are you punting? Maybe you're punting for next season.
But what I was going to say is, if you're looking at the table, though, and you're looking at the player or the teams that you have to go up against, San Diego, Washington, Gotham.
Potent offensive teams.
You need defense, right? So having another scorer to go 4-3 isn't really going to help you out. If
but
you
can
have
you
GIF
ever
Monday
really go
having hat tricks in games?
Well, that's the question: is can you ever stop GIF Monday? Like, does it matter? Do you want to try to fight
stop
offense
GIF Monday?
with
Can
offense?
you also stop Rose Kawasi and Trinity Rodman? Probably not.
It's a wrap
Probably
for
not.
us. It's a wrap for us. It's a big bow, 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 bow.
But maybe next year. Yeah.
It's always next year for the Portland Thorn.
Where are they in the? Hold on, let me look at where they're 4th in the table. So it's a risky move for a team that's 4th in the table right now. I will say that.
We'll be following this thing closely. Anytime you're trading for a player this close before playoffs in any sport, it's always something that raises eyebrows. But that's all the time that we have for this episode of Let Her Shoot. Do not forget to follow us and subscribe on YouTube. Whenever we get access to the hype button, hype me up, make sure to hit that, smash that, follow us on iHeart or the Odyssey app or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get them. All of them would be preferable. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram and Threads on the Daily W Sports. Sarah, I think this was one of our most fun shows.
It was a good one.
It was a good one.
It was a good one.
Shout out to Cathy Engelbert. Shout out to you. Shout out to all your fans. When we start out with the cold open, you're going to be like, what's this show going to be? But no, it's a phenomenal show. Stick around for the whole thing. What did you think of it? Comment. Give us your thoughts in YouTube and on Instagram. And we will see you next week. Oh, also, we've got some live shows happening in collaborations with Metalark, with the Alley Oop podcast. So look for that on our feed. We're going to be doing a double live stream. Really fun stuff. 1, 2, 3, Sarah. Let her shoot.